Today is March 10th, 2023. Today's Mario Day, and it's episode 216 of Maelstrom Radio.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Gladys and Shitter.
Welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me as always is my good friend and co-host Quinton.
Hello.
There was a light cough. There was a flub. That's great. 216. Great starts.
That's how we do it.
Professional podcasters.
Gotta do a lot of those popping sounds.
Welcome to episode 1.
Camera lighting looks great tonight. That's good.
Yeah,
My system broke up.
I took a few minutes to slightly adjust my camera lighting before the show.
My camera was not my camera. My light got disconnected, so it's not part of the system now. So I have to go and fix that.
I get it. I understand.
We'll see.
It'll be fine. Let's talk about what we've been doing since our last episode, on off stream and everything in between. Man, that's a great segue. Remind me to say that every week. So
you're gonna forget by next time.
I'm never gonna say that again. That was too good.
Yeah, no.
Careful, Icarus. So, yeah. No, I'm so impressed with myself. So,
pause.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
Yeah, a little bit.
But not in the Urkel way.
No. Last episode, the after last episode, I was a wizard. I played a wizard game called Noita.
I feel like you were more dead than a wizard.
I mean, I may have used my wizard spells to kill myself a few times. Not on purpose. Although I will say there were times where I casted no spells and everything was on fire for no explanation other than that game just makes everything on fire.
Fire will kill you.
Everything. Like, you just show up in a place, you're like, why is this room on fire? This whole room's on fire. Why am I on fire now? I was nowhere near the room. Love that game. Such a great game. I will return.
Played it since then?
In my spare time, yes. I've played it in my spare. Have I gotten anywhere further than last time? Not at all.
No.
Is it a game that I will play as a consistent thing? No, because it's too. I'm sure there's like a run where you're just like, all right, this is it. This is the run. I wouldn't say it's like. It's definitely not like what's it called? Hades, right? Like, I don't think it's like a Hades game where it's like, oh, you're building up your buffs and eventually you will overcome the obstacles in front of you. No, that game is just
more of a rogue game.
It's definitely a rogue game where it's like, you died. Well, good luck, wizard boy. And you're like, okay, just try again. And every time
That's why I don't have that game.
Yeah, and every time it's definitely like procedurally generated, so you're never gonna get. It's the same starting level, but the layout is always different in each place. So.
Yeah.
Fun times. Anyway, Noita.
And different weapons each time.
Yep. Would I recommend it? Yes. Would I recommend it for the same? No. So there you go.
You like bashing your head over and over against the same thing and having the different or the same outcome.
Noita. Also, I am in the Death's Door endgame. I am almost at 100% in that game. Like, almost at 100%. I am missing one seed in that game. One seed. in
Okay,
that
I'm
game.
surprised that you haven't finished it. You were pretty close a while ago.
I finished the game. I beat the game.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in.
You're
So
100% now.
I'm in post game, and post game. So there's still like some loose ends. So I finished the story of the Gravekeeper finally. I got to find out the story of what friend he buried. It was his dog, and it's very sad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. So, but if you've been following me playing Death's Door, great game. Go play Death's Door. So good. And I've been playing Street. I got lulled into a phone game. Lulled into it because it's Street Fighter.
A card game.
No, not a card game. Not a card game. I will show if I had a way of streaming this game to you, not a card game.
It says card game on
No,
it.
Chili's playing the game as well. Not a card game. Thank you, Chili.
But
Not
it says card game on the thing.
Well, listen, I know what it says. I hear you.
I'm calling it a card game regardless.
There is no cards to be found in that game. I've not found a single card in that game. Chili, you're right. It is very easy to stream with the USB-C to HDMI adapter. I could easily stream it, but here's my problem. Here's my problem. I have an iPhone. Second of all, not a card game. Not one card.
Pretty easy to stream, but yes, not a USB-C to HDMI.
Are you collecting characters in Street Fighter? Yes. Is it a gacha game? Absolutely. Would I recommend it? No.
See, a light strategy mobile card game. Susan's on my team.
It's not. It's not. Although
doesn't matter what the game is that says that it's a card game.
Well, they really need to look up the definition of card game. There's not a card in sight. Not one card. Not one.
Yes, Susan, I'm with you, Susan.
Susan, I will show you the game. There's nary a card. There's not one card in that game. Not one. And right now they have a thing that's lasting 3 days with tarot cards, but you use it just to get more items for yourself.
That's a card.
Yeah, but it's not used for anything, and after 6 days, it's gone. I know what it says. It's not what it is. Chili can back me up. Chili in chat, please describe the game in your own words. It's a gacha game, but is it a card game, Chili? Because even Chili, scroll up. Chili said not a card game, but
not a card game. I read.
Oh, but not a card game. I don't know
just
why.
Like Maelstrom, or just like Domini Dombra is not a cult.
Is it a strategy game? Yes. It's a gacha turn-based game with idle aspect. Yes, that's exactly what that is. Hell, it even has battle royale. That even is true too. It's got it's everything but a card game. It's got everything. It's got battle royale.
Mode?
I don't know. Maybe
you need build mode.
I'm gonna be able to fight monsters. You're gonna have monster hunting in the game in 6 days. Guess what else is not coming in 6 days? Cards. Not what flipping card is in this game.
Watch, the monsters are gonna be cards now.
You know what? Then at that point, yes, there's cards. I will give it to him. Like, oh, finally the cards are here. Two and a half weeks later.
Believe in the heart of the cards.
Like I don't know. Like when you hear card game, what do you think of? Like, what is a card game to you?
A game that involves cards.
Okay.
I mean, we could go to Triple Triad for Final Fantasy XIV, but we can also go to something like Inscription.
Neither of those things are in this game.
Well, yes, I figured they're both different. Susan says Uno.
Not even that is in this game.
Technically Wingspan.
Not either that.
Armello.
Nope. Although I think Armello's a dice game, technically.
It has both. You have cards for all your different things, and you roll the dice.
Monopoly. Well, I think Monopoly is more of a board game.
Yeah, Monopoly doesn't have cards so much.
Monopoly is more of a card game than this. That's true. Actually, Chili, that's a great statement.
Candyland is more of a card game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anyways, speaking of things that should stay dead, we've also been playing Remnant from the Ashes for the last while.
Well, you could have gone with two different games on that one.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Property and community chest chance for Monopoly cards. True. You learned Candyland was real.
Wait, today?
I'm so
just
sorry,
like right
Chili.
now. Did we just teach Chili a thing that Candyland was real?
I apologize because no one should have to go through that.
Chili just learned right now today. Oh, we taught Chili a thing. Welcome to Maelstrom Radio, where we teach things.
About the worst board game ever.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been playing Remnant from the Ashes, and we were doing pretty good. Us fives from the thing that just like comes out and kills us every now and then. And we managed to finally complete all of the areas in the last zone that we are in. We made it to the final area.
Mm-hmm.
Or the next area, I should say. We didn't realize that it was the final area. We knew it was one of the end areas. But then we got to this room and we walked in. We got a cutscene, and then our quest log updated to final battle. And we tried a few times, but we're not successful. But yeah, we're at the final battle, so we should finish that off next week. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah. And we know the strat now. Now we for sure know the strat. So I think it might. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be
just a matter of time.
It's not a one and done, but it might be like 2 or 3 and done.
Yeah.
So.
Chili only knows about American culture from TV shows, so he doesn't know if they are real things or made up for the shows. That's why Chili didn't think Cheesecake Factory was real. There's a Cheesecake Factory a very small distance from where I am. I am not going to specify, so I do not leak or to figure out where I live.
Do you go there often?
No.
Okay.
I've gone a handful of times since I've been here.
Okay.
It's pricey for what you get.
ProZD just did a recent he ate like 67 things off the menu.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is the one thing with Cheesecake Factory. If no one can decide what they want, it's great because it has everything.
That's true.
It has really good cheesecake.
It's got things that you don't even think you'd want. So it's like I feel like I want Chinese, but also I want American. So cheeseburger egg rolls.
I wish you were wrong, but you are not.
I'm not wrong.
No, that's 100% a thing.
I want bubbly, gooey mac and cheese, but also I want deep fried items, mac and cheese balls. Those are good.
I mean,
they kind of slap.
I was gonna say, honestly, if you deep fry pretty much anything, it's great.
They kind of slap.
I want a salad that's 4,000 calories.
Yeah, true. Yep. Yeah.
Honestly, or Wendy's.
There's pasta dishes that have less calories in their salads.
Yeah. There's actually pasta dishes that are some of their lightest things.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But oddly enough,
the warm bread.
Oh, the bread's great. Oddly enough, I found out that they're actual out of the chain restaurants, they're the least offensive. Like they actually cook those. Like there's a lot of cooking actually going on there for legit cooking because they actually hire chefs and there's multiple different chefs because their kitchen is so large.
Yeah.
I don't know how they sustain that. I don't know how they survived the pandemic.
Oh, they do takeout.
I'm sure, but oh my god, can you imagine having that many chefs on?
I've been there.
Oh, I've been there too.
Takeout. It's wild.
Oh, listen. When
people lined up, like a dozen packages just sitting on the counter waiting for people.
When I used to work for the utility company downtown, they had to open up a Cheesecake Factory when the utility company was downtown. And I remember every Friday on payday, it was Cheesecake Factory Day for everybody in the air. Everybody, even if you didn't get lunch there, you were like, you want some cheesecake? You're like, yeah, I kind of want some cheesecake. And then
you can never say no to the cheesecake.
So it was always everybody would rotate out who pick up, right? And the bosses didn't care. They didn't make you clock out because everybody's like, it's Cheesecake Factory Day. They set you down there. It was 20, 30 minutes. They didn't care. They just everybody wanted cheesecake and sugar. You'd come back at least it was almost $300 worth of cheesecake, mostly cheesecake,
5 pieces, but
yeah. And then everybody's like, woo, and they're some people are taking bites while they're working. They're like, it's so good. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Some people ordered 2 or 3 cheesecakes. I'm taking some home to my friend. I was like, that's for you. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. I'm taking some home to a friend. My friend is me. I can't wait to eat some more cheesecake.
I am my best friend.
I am my
especially
best
when I give myself cheesecake.
So, well, the non sequitur of that. Welcome to, by the way, not sponsored. We just talked
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. Although Cheesecake Factory.
Yes, I would take one.
Would take it. I would. Would you take the money or the free cheesecake?
Depends on the money, but probably the cheesecake.
How easily are we bought? That's really what I'm
because when you put it together, like it depends on what the money is, honestly. Because if the money's really good, then we can go with the money. But the cheesecake is really expensive too. So if it's free cheesecake, then Peter's dying because the copied Cheesecake Factory.
The copied Cheesecake Factory.
Just have 9S there working behind the counter as a chef.
2B's would you like to be seated?
Oh, yep.
The copied cheese. Why? Damn it. Remind me after this to make a meme.
All right, then.
Okay, thanks.
In completely unrelated news, I've also been playing through Raft, but I think we only played it the once since the last time. We've been going more in the story. Last week we actually took off from Raft, partly because Sarah was away, and partly because there was another game that I really wanted to check out, and I thought would be really cool. So we played Voltaire, the Vegan Vampire. Cass and I did. It's a 2-player remote play game on Steam in early access. Came out, I think 2 weeks ago, so it's not that old.
Okay.
Really solid game. Has very similar gameplay almost to like Cult of the Lamb. And graphically it is kind of similar to Don't Starve. Gameplay wise, it's also kind of similar to Don't Starve. But it's really weird when they describe it as like a farming simulator action roguelike. You start off this game, you're a vampire, and you're going vegan, so no fighting things, no meat, no sucking blood. So you're gonna go and
no meat.
No meat. You go and have to plant seeds for these things. So you have to go and harvest seeds and get water and plant them and all of that. You have so much energy, like similar to Cult of the Lamb. And you do all of this, and when you run out of energy, which happens pretty fast in the early game, then you go to bed for the night. But vampires don't sleep at night, so you get awesome hair. Just gonna say, like, your hair goes all wild and white and up. And you get powers, and then you have to fight off the demon hordes at night. Because your father doesn't approve of you, and therefore he is trying to send monsters to kill you.
Yeah, that sounds okay. That sounds right.
Yep. It's a great game. Absolutely love it. We'll 100% play it again. Unfortunately, it is only 2-player, but it is remote play, so only one person needs a copy of it. But yeah, we made it up to... We completed 2 levels. So each level we found out is 7 days, so 1 week in game. And at the end of that week, you fight a boss. And if you succeed, you have a chance to go to the portal to go to the next level, or you can wait another week.
Okay.
So we went through the first area, we went through the second area, and we're about to go into the third area, and that's where we stopped.
How is because you said it's local multiplayer, but are you using Steam Connect?
Yes.
Is that
so? It's Steam's remote play. I was local, so it was fine for me. It was very smooth. Controls are responsive. Everything was great. Really nice on a controller. But from Cass's perspective, they had a lot of latency.
Okay.
And I think that was related to the Steam remote play more. Just that wasn't great. There was a couple times when we had issues with crashing, which early access, not surprising. I don't know if they can fix like the remote play latency piece. I'm sure there are things we might be able to do. Yeah, I don't know if that's a game thing or if that's a Steam thing, because I wouldn't be surprised if Steam is terrible. Well, I mean more of like the performance-wise of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, really, really fun game. Because I because I got it during early access, you get a unicorn onesie. So I am now a vampire with a unicorn onesie, and normally Voltaire's hair is black.
Okay.
With like a white stripe in it or whatnot. Kind of vampire-ish. At night, since I'm in the unicorn onesie and your hair goes all wild at night because you're using all your attacks and spells and stuff, my hair now goes pastel rainbow. It's my favorite part of that game. It's beautiful. And it's kind of like Hades. Well, not like little like Hades, where like as you go through each night, you level up. as you kill things, do things, you get experience. You level up. Every time you level up, you have a choice of what skill you would like to get. So you get one of 3 options per level, and so you can get like extra melee attacks, ranged attacks. Cass and I are on very similar pages where we have now 4 summoned creatures. We have our own bat. We have our own personal frog. We have our own personal flying dog or vampire dog. And what was the last one? Got the dog, the frog, the bat. I don't know why it's not coming to me.
All right, fair.
Anyways, we have 4 different summoned creatures that are floating around us. It's beautiful. Great, go play it.
All right. If anybody was looking for,
I think
oh, go ahead.
this would be a good one, like for us to play at some point.
Fair.
It'd be very entertaining.
I think I'd be more worried about the latency, but it is the Steam issue.
That would be the main thing.
The killer,
the latency we have
yeah.
to sort out. I think we could work around it a little bit.
Probably.
We have ways.
We do have ways. Take that, Steam. If anyone was interested, Susan's current Octopath Traveler 2 hour account is at 27 currently. So I'm not sure where she is.
She did play 6 hours in stream the other day.
She did. I could not tell you where she's at, like story-wise, but 27 hours is a lot already, and I'm sure it's maybe a 60-hour game. So maybe she's halfway through, or maybe she's not. I have no idea. I don't know.
She's halfway through the game, but then there's post-game.
Well, that's true. So not even close. Oh my god, how long is?
I mean, if it's 60 hours, then that's half-ish. Yeah, you have 4 more characters. That's half the story, isn't it? You have 8 characters. So
63 hours.
Yeah.
If you
do
the main game plus the extras, 80 hours. If you do the completionist, 106 hours and 48 minutes.
Yeah, Susan's doing the I don't think the completionist, but the other one.
The main and
complete
extras.
Everything inside. Yeah, the extras.
That sounds
yeah, I'm over 100 hours in Octopath 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. Although she just, I helped her discover that she was missing something in Octopath 1 and a boss. So she didn't know. And I was like, hey, there's this over here. She's like, what? And so.
Have you seen this?
Do you know about this? Yo. Also, the reason why we're here, Final Fantasy 14. I played it. It's true. I played 6.3. I finished the story.
I haven't played since 6.3 launched, and we did the Alliance raid on stream.
Nope. No, I did. I went in and I played a little bit of Hildebrand. We haven't finished yet, but also
the old Hildebrand or the new Hildebrand?
The one that just dropped. Did a little bit of it.
That yet.
So far, pretty great. pretty great.
I do like how it's called Somehow Further Adventures of Hildebrand at this point. Like,
pretty great. Because we keep asking for it. And honestly,
well, yes,
I will keep paying for this game. If you tell me no more Hildebrand, I might bounce. I might be out. It may be the only thing carrying me at this point is Hildebrand. It's just like a good drug. It's just like I just put the needle in one more time, Dad.
I feel like they'll probably wrap it up.
No.
Well, especially considering like it's part of the like relic weapon, right? Like epic weapon, whatever. But
that doesn't count. Hildebrand and his dad are 2 separate entities. His dad's cool. His dad's doing a thing. His son can move on. His son can keep going.
Oh, that's true.
It's like him and they can go anywhere they want. Like I feel like he exists outside the realm of like
everything.
He
exists outside the realm. End of sentence.
Yeah, he's a warrior of light in his own right, and therefore can exist outside that. His adventures and our adventures somehow commingle in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a comic relief character.
Yeah, and you need that.
No, Greg is a comic relief character.
And you need that.
Yeah, we need more Greg.
You need more Greg. Eventually I'm hoping that Greg will come back. Like I'm assuming wherever we're going, eventually future Greg. So
Greg,
but caught up with MSQ. Let's get into it. I caught up with MSQ. Boy, where do we want to
All
start?
right, so,
we want to
hold off right now.
Okay.
Anyone who is currently listening, we are going to go into 6.3 spoilers at this point. It is a few months out, so I mean, hopefully you've completed it. But if you haven't,
Yeah.
heads up, there is going to be spoilers now.
Yeah. So, so I played 6.3. I have some thoughts.
You met Moon-kun.
I did meet Moon-kun. I go get there. I do have some thoughts. I have some interesting tidbits to take away that I found interesting. I guess we'll start with...
It'll be harder because it's been a while since I've played it.
Well, we'll start with Garlemald, right? We'll start with going there because that's where we started.
Yep.
And we start to see Zero starting to realize that not everything needs to be a contract, right? Like not everything needs to be like people will people will just do things for each other without asking for something in return.
Right.
And as Zero starts to realize that, we are like, all right, well, cool. We mount probably one of the cooler machines in the game for Garlemald. It was a giant I don't even know how to describe it, like a minivan, like a plussed up minivan.
Sure, it's the Garlemald minivan.
It's the Garlemald snow minivan with snow tires on it. Took us right up to Ski Hill, and but the thing is, I think we got more Garlemald storyline of those people, and honestly, I know. To me, I feel like Garlemald was such a small bit of the expansion and a place that we did not get to spend a lot of time in, and for good or bad reasons, I don't know. I know like the idea of like this nation that was attacking us for years, so to speak. And you get there and it's just desolate and just run down.
It was destroyed.
It was destroyed. But going back there, I want more Garlemald storyline because these people. I think about it in the terms of like, imagine a people that have nothing and they're trying to rebuild, and that interests me way more than the other people that are just like, we have everything, everything's fine over here. They're like, I'm like, I get it, you suffered and it sucks, but they were lied to, like they were lied to for years. So.
Did you mean Alamigo?
Well.
Look how much content we've had from them.
Yeah, well, they're done with. They're
very similar.
I didn't choose to do Alamigo that way. Square Enix chose to do Alamigo that way.
But it's similar to Garlemald, right?
Yeah. Stop doing that, maybe. They're like, well, we were supposed to have 10 expansions, but really 7 is. I couldn't keep dragging it on, so we did 7. So.
We got to cut it here.
We got to cut it here.
10 years.
Really, what's saying is that, oh, I have to make Final Fantasy 16, so we gotta reel this in quick. I gotta be busy.
We gotta reel this in quick by massively shoving the largest expansion ever into one.
Yeah, it sounds right. So, other than that, the dungeon was cool. I like the lore that we got in the dungeon. I think the lore was really cool. I like the idea that the Garlean Empire was trying to do away with the Reapers by making Magitech Reapers, and we're testing it against the Reapers. Like that's like how they like if you and their strongest Reaper kept beating it, and so they kept trying to like, oh, I'm just gonna keep again, yeah, just like until I can make it beat you, then then we'll know it's good. But eventually, clearly the Reapers just kind of disbanded and went away. Clearly. So,
yeah.
And we went through the dungeon. Although I did like the first boss in the dungeon. I think the stampede mechanic was cool. I think the
whole dungeon was kind of neat. It wasn't anything.
It wasn't anything like
mechanically challenging.
No, yeah, no, nothing was mechanically challenging. But we fought Cagna. Oh man, young me is taking over, and I want to say Cagnazzo, but it's like Cagnazio or whatever. So.
Oh, yep.
Cagnazzo.
they got. Yeah, they had the least luck.
Yeah, they were wet.
The first one was the first two, I think, had big trials.
Yeah.
No.
No, because
First one had
Scarmeleon was a dungeon. And then we
Was it a
fought.
dungeon?
Yeah, Scarmeleon was a dungeon, and then we fought.
Or was it a solo?
Was he a solo fight, or was he both? Might have been both.
I don't.
We might have done both with Scarmeleon.
Hair Lady was definitely a trial. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Shirley's saying it's a dungeon.
It was a dungeon. All right, so it was a dungeon, and then Barbarizia was the trial.
Trial, yeah.
And then was Cargnazio was the dungeon. And then we got Adagia's eye, and we got her eye back. So, and we sent, and then we sent. I found
one has another trial.
Yes, but then I found something interesting that, I understand. I was kind of hoping for something deeper in that storyline. For I don't know why, and I don't know what I was expecting.
No.
Because I was expecting when Cognaz was like, oh, you played into our. This is like, we played into our plan. I thought maybe it's like, ooh, because they killed the fiend on our side, like maybe something. They stayed dead, but maybe that was for a reason. And because Cognaz was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the flow now. I'm gonna go to the afterlife, and that's where I want to be. Like, and I was so I thought maybe like, oh, maybe it's gonna be like a cool, like, since they always like have suffered through being reborn, like their whole idea is to get to the afterlife, and that's going to cause a rift, right? Like the void entering the afterlife causes something. No, clear it. Nope, not at all. That was not. We'll get there. Dead. Nope, they're just that's it. So we go back to Megaduda, and we're like, all right, we're gonna go back to the void, and there's a big boom, big boom, big shot of light straight up.
No more void.
No more void. They destroyed the void gate. Can't get to the
no more void door.
No more void door. That's right. The void's still there. And then we fight what I lovingly call Scab Man.
All right.
No more void butthole. That's
do you want to expand on
that? You mean third degree burn Terry?
Yes.
Whose name I just forgot because I kept calling him other things other than his actual name. Oh no. God, what was his name? Rubicante. See, haha. I got them all in there. They're all in my memory.
Was fun.
Yeah, Rubicante's fight was really fun. Again,
it's a dance.
Yeah, it was a dance, but Rubicante's fight ultimately was a lot of fun, and I didn't die. So I did do the dungeon with NPCs, because it's been a while, and I was like a little rusty. So I was like, but then I did the trial, not as rusty as I thought. Still rusty, but not as rusty. But I didn't die. Like maybe I got like 1 or 2 stacks, but I was actually pretty proud of myself. The trial itself was a lot of fun. The mechanics were some the same, some different. Some were like revamped things we've seen before. And Rubicante openly just telling us like the whole plan at that point. I was like, okay, well,
you have defeated me. I will now tell you everything.
Which I thought was so strange. Like Rubicante's like, even our character's like, why are you telling me this? He's like, well, you've bested me, and I can't.
You bested me, and I feel bad about all the things that I did. So
I'm
gonna tell you.
Yes. Like he's like, well, I have a conscience now, and I was like, why? Why do you care? Like. Just clearly like when I tried preventing a war, I was like, I get it. Like I get that we know that your whole world fought. That's something we're seeing, and we saw that with Zero, right? The flashback with Zero and trying to protect the town and
being powerless,
and
which I have to talk about that solo duty.
Okay.
Because we get to do the solo duty as Zero.
Yeah, we did. We forgot about that. We should probably talk about that.
And the solo duty as Zero, and we get the cutscene afterwards of like her like kind of getting defeated and her feeling powerless to fight back against these things, which kind of gives some background to her character. But I have a slight problem with that specific solo duty because I was kicking all of their butts
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my health went from like 100 down to nothing. And it's like, no, you have to die here. I'm like, no, I was beating them. Like,
Yeah, so was I. I was on the last guy, and I was like, I'm fine. Like, what happened? Like, I was
everything's
like
good, and boom, like, well, that's the story, Death.
All right. Like, thanks for forcing us into that. So I could have understood, right? Because part of it was like this big beam, right, that they were supposed to cast, right? And I could have understood there, like, if you just couldn't defeat everything, like, if it just kept overwhelming you and then you died, that would have been a better cut and made more sense than defeating all. End it right there versus and then gave you like an extra like minute of fighting, which made zero sense and no pun intended. So thank you, Dr. Delicious. This patch gives you 0 character development. So and then we just show up, our characters show up, and we're just like, all right, well,
surprise, we saved you,
and then Zero's
now
like,
we friends.
Yeah, now we friends, and like
Zero has emotions.
Oh, who didn't see that coming? No
I'm
offense.
pretty sure I called at the beginning that this is like the My Little Pony or Kingdom Hearts like series of patches.
Yeah, but
my friends are my magic.
Please.
So 100%, you can see that coming from a mile away.
Let Kingdom Hearts be Kingdom Hearts. They don't listen. You don't have Disney in this. It doesn't make it work when there's no Disney. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? I'm Goofy and you're Donald Duck. And Zero's Zora.
Yep.
Gosh.
Yep. Can't refute that one.
Nope.
But yeah, like aside from that, I do think that there was some very interesting, like aside from it was extremely cliche and you could see it a mile away, it was some interesting character development for Zero.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question before I go into my next piece.
Okay.
In your opinion, what was the best part of the entire patch? Because there's a correct answer to this.
Oh, is there? Like MSQ point?
As part of the as part of the MSQ, what was the best part of the MSQ in this patch?
Was it the boots? Because
no.
Oh.
Susan. It was the meat bun.
Yeah, the boots. That's what they called it. The meat bun was it's a boots. Remember, I just played this.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
boots. Yeah, boots. Not butts.
Yeah. No, that's a character. But yes, the meat bun that was excruciatingly detailed, and I was so hungry after that. And I still haven't had a meat bun since then. But I need them. Yeah, I heard boots too. Chili.
I thought it was BUTZ. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it was BUZ.
Was it? All right. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Oh well, I looked up that spelling and I got Seymour Butts in Final Fantasy. Also, Larry Butts, Amita Butts, Butts Bunny, Seymour Butts, Butts Clouser. There's a lot of people.
Honestly, are you surprised?
I'm not, honestly.
No, I mean it was a character. It's an official character. It's an official translation of a character that shouldn't have been translated that way, but was.
And then all the way back from December 11th, 2019, SC amputated butts.
I remember that.
Damn it, SC. All we want is
butts. That was when that was the near.
Yeah, it was when they fixed the near gear because it was broken. Yeah. It's like,
they reverted it though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, because people were pissed.
Yeah. Like, we didn't want that. Everyone's like, yeah, well, we wanted that.
Yeah, that's what we want. We don't care what you want. That's what we want. Slider. Drink your wine, little wine man. Give us our butts back.
The next expansion, 7.0. There is no new content. You just get a butt slider.
Honestly, you know how many people would be here for it? I think people would subscribe even just for the 1 month just to play with the butt slider. Tell me I'm wrong.
You know, the part that's disappointing is the fact that you're right. There's a lot of people that would, yeah.
So, also, it's Boots, because he says booze. He doesn't say booze. He says boots in the game. I gotta refine the clip. Go listen to the clip. Someone go listen to the clip because I'm pretty sure it's like
because it's not English.
It's not English.
So like,
welcome to it's not
depends
English.
on where you're getting it from.
Yeah, free trial for the critically acclaimed butt slider Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. The meat bone was delicious looking. Yeah, he does pronounce it boots. Yeah, thank you. Like I said,
I don't. It's not a T. It's.
But he does pronounce it boots. Like I kid you not. Like I just did this the other like less than 72 hours ago. He does pronounce it boots. Listen, it's spelled B-U-Z, but there's a ghost T in there. So.
Oh, I know what this like. I know it's not a Z as in like Z.
No, it's
like it's more of a like a sound, but it's not like a hard T. That's why it's hard to.
No T, but like the fake T. There's a hidden T, Mr. T.
Yeah, like when you say boot. There's a very definitive T in this word. There's not like that definitive T, but it is. Yeah, it's like a hi-hat sound. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the technical term is because I'm not a linguist, but yeah, it is not a hard T. It's a weird thing. Yeah.
It's oots. It's the oots. Like there's no T, but it's oots.
Oots.
Educast? Oh,
yeah, we're teaching.
Yeah, welcome to Maelstrom Radio. Your formal training and welcome.
You learn how to pronounce that, and you also learn about Candyland.
Welcome to Duolingo, where two friends teach you language.
Bonjour.
Hola. Welcome to
Say
Muzzy.
stuff good with Quinton and Peter. We got a new podcast to do.
Yeah.
Maelstrom Radio's over. We're going to say stuff good.
Well, welcome to Muzzy Radio.
Boots and cats and
Boots.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty good. So Ruben Conte tells us the whole plot just at this point. It's just like, well, Golbez's plan is to merge the void into this world so everyone can die. I was like, bold move. Yeah, no, bold move. Really, though, is that when we go back to the moon, right? For Ruben, like, because I think they've been really vague about where Golbez is, right? Like they've not said, hey, we know he's in the void. That's been obvious this whole time. We didn't know where he was in the void, and they were like, oh, he's on the moon. Okay. Then we see him sitting in his throne, and then we realize that it's the same throne as what? The Watcher. It's the Watcher's throne.
It's a shard.
It's a shard, so it's the Watcher's throne. So there's many theories going around the internet.
He's not the Watcher. We know that.
He's not. Are we sure he's not the Watcher?
Yes.
Where?
Because we learned about this in the Alliance raid.
No, we know.
We haven't officially learned it in the Alliance raid.
We know our Watcher exists, but we don't know if Golbez was the Watcher for the Void. Why wouldn't there be multiple Watchers?
I guess it depends on if the gods, the 12, were sundered or not.
Why wouldn't they be? Because there are clearly...
Well, I think that they're the equivalent of the Ascians. They're unsundered. They just... Like, I don't think that they were sundered as part of all of this, which is why I don't think the Watcher is sundered. And therefore doesn't have shards in all the different places.
I wonder, though. Because why would the moon look exactly like... Why would there be a throne on the moon?
I mean... Maybe there was a throne on the moon before everything.
Because they only need to watch Zodiac. But Zodiac was split into pieces, right? Like...
No. Well, Zodiac was split into pieces, but I don't think there was a cell holding him everywhere. Just the source.
Could we, in theory, think that all the Zodiac pieces were the moons? Like, split, like... Earth was.
I don't
No,
think so.
you don't think so? Then why the moon then? Like why put him on the moon? What the hell's the moon got to do with anything?
Because one, everyone wanted to go to the moon. Two, there was a moon base with the Asians back in ARR.
Okay.
And also, like, everyone just wanted to go to the moon. There's no place else that they're not going to put Zodiac in the middle of the world.
Yeah, but he clearly has a throne that looks exactly like the Watcher's where he is.
Right. So what I'm saying, I'm not necessarily saying that the source and the moon were sundered, right? They got split into the 14 shards.
I'm
what
with
if
you.
the throne was already on the moon before that?
Why would that matter
There's
though?
nothing
Because
saying-
because we know that
Because-
the worlds are different. They shape differently. They grew to be different things.
They grew to be different things, right? Because people influenced and changed different things. But
they are planets in their own
The-
right, right? Like they're multiverse planets, so they evolved differently.
right, they evolved differently because people and influence on there, but there's no influence on the moon. Right? If there's nothing on the moon, then whatever was there would just stay there.
There's whalers on the moon. And they carry
Now
a
there is.
harpoon. But there are no whales, so they tell tall tales. There's whalers on the moon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know. I guess I don't know. My problem is that like I don't know if it's because I've played 4, right? And if it's Golbez from 4, then but I don't think it's Golbez from 4. I think it's just a person named Golbez, right? Like they just rip the names, but the different,
I think there's probably going to be thematic similarities.
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like whatever he did in 4 is probably going to be pretty similar to what he's doing in 12 or 14.
And see, where I was going, see, Dr. Delicious, I think the moon's in prison, the sundered pieces of Zodiac. So why wouldn't
I don't
so
think
why wouldn't a prison need a guard?
I don't think that there's the sundered pieces, because if they were holding the sundered pieces, then somehow they would have to access every one of those shards and bring it back. And we didn't have a way of transferring things between shards.
The Asians did.
Not between shards. They could travel between shards, but they couldn't bring things between shards. We couldn't. We didn't figure that out until we had the crystals.
But they destroyed they destroyed those worlds, right? And if those worlds were destroyed,
right? So they were combining things back.
No. Chili says they could.
I don't think they could bring the stuff back. Yeah, they were crashing the worlds together.
Oh, that's right. La Habrea brought someone to the shard.
Who?
The Warring Triad. He's right. Yeah, he brought the Warring Triad.
All of.
And he brought Ardbert. Remember, they brought the
that's the Warring Triad.
Oh, are they?
Well, I mean, it was part of that.
No, because the Triad. I thought. No. The Triad was.
No, that was Void World.
That's Void World. Yeah.
The kid was from the 13th.
And the kid was from the 13th, so they could. I'm saying I think Golbez
at least
is a watcher.
Soul. They could bring souls across.
I think Golbez is a watcher that watched the world die and is trying to do what he thinks is right.
I don't think that makes sense, though.
Who says it needs to make sense?
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense in that if the watchers were just there to watch.
But who says they can't do more, right? Like we know that like let's assume, right?
But Zodiac is gone.
But Zodiac's gone now. But let's say because that world's destroyed, right? Because that's how so we know that one's dead. So if that watcher had nothing else to do and watched the world like, hey, this world's dead and none of these people can pass on, right? There's suffering. Wouldn't that drive you mad if you could not do anything and decided to take it upon yourself to do something? It could. I mean,
in the Golbez way.
But and Susan's right? We all think that the next 24 man, we're probably might have to fight the man on the moon.
I don't think we're gonna fight the Watcher.
I know he's nice. He's very nice.
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna go and talk with him, but I don't think we're going to fight him.
But we know that the Watcher has some sort of power, right? Like we're assuming that the Watcher has.
Yeah.
So who says that who says that Watcher on the other moon is unsundered and also not Golbez?
I don't think that the Golbez is the Watcher.
Oh man, I would love to know if Golbez is the Watcher.
I'm sure you're gonna find out soon.
Oh, I'm sure we are.
I would say 6.4 or 6.5.
Yeah,
but
we're definitely gonna
probably
find out.
6.4.
And do you think it's gonna lead to anywhere, or
Yeah.
do you think that whatever Golbus is doing is going to come to fruition?
No, we're gonna stop him because that's just how the story
Yeah, that's true.
goes.
But what if?
This is not an expansion. This is patch content in between.
But
we're not gonna have.
What if? Hear me out. What
He's
if?
gonna win? No.
No, he's gonna win. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying. What if he does? Like we beat Golbez, but he does succeed in some way. But then the next expansion is us stopping, like having. To,
Yeah,
like,
that would be the only potential.
Right? Because like it's been a while, and hear me out. It's been a while since we've had the game end in a way where there's something lingering. Like remember, like the last time we saw something lingering in the sky was the mini moon that released the dragon.
What about the airship?
The airship is another one. Absolutely.
Yeah, Void Arc.
The Void Arc. Like I mean,
but also the airship in.
But I mean, but it's been a while since
Kugane.
Which is always there now, yeah. But it's been a while since we've had something like, ooh, there's something like something doom and gloom in the sky, right? Like or something like.
Do you not remember the towers that were literally just last expansion?
No, I know. I'm saying, but like, but it's been a while, right? Like the towers, like ooh, towers, like.
Yeah, we got them at the end.
Yeah, but that went really quick though. I felt like those towers didn't last that long. It's like, all right, towers are gone.
They lasted.
They lasted, but I almost feel like the towers didn't like. I don't know. Like the towers didn't feel as like
do anything.
Yeah, they didn't feel as ominous.
Yeah, no.
So
yeah, they didn't utilize them well, but they were there.
Yeah, it's like oh towers. I'm like, oh great, everyone's getting 5G now with our like tome phones.
No. Yeah, and like
they were cheaply built.
Like, you say we need the void to exist for like enemies in black magic, but we don't need the void as in the 13th to exist. The void can still exist. There can still be like void sent, but I don't think we need the 13th for that necessarily.
Unless the 13th, yeah. Why would the 13th need to be the yeah? Like, how would black magic exist without the 13th? Like, is it? This is a Moose question. I feel like maybe Susan.
I can try to schedule a lore cast.
We need to schedule Moose.
The void sent are from the 13th, but they had to come from somewhere, right? We still have 8 levels of magic, but we still have all of those different
white and black
types of magic that we have. And we know that like the light and dark sides of it aren't necessarily good and evil, right? Like the first has way too much light, 13th has way too much darkness. So there is a way of bringing some of that into the world. So void sent are primarily probably from the 13th because it just that's a really key source of the void, but there is void elsewhere as well. Usually it is
I like
balanced
void
out with light.
I like void elsewhere. By the way.
And learn all the levels of magic. You see, it's not just a simple one little thing. There are 8 different levels of magic, both white and black.
Yeah.
We were getting in touch with our wizard earlier today in Discord.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my soundboard went
Get in touch with your wizard
in alphabetical order, which you think it would be easier, but I had things organized in a specific way. Now it's throwing me. Although, you know, there's some good stuff on here I forgot about.
So what is your overall thought on 6.3?
Like
MSQ.
How I feel about it, or do I think things are going? Like, or do you want both?
Go ahead.
Okay. Overall, as a patch story, I feel it was a little weak, right? Like compared to other things we got in the past. Even going, like I even think back at stuff like in Heaven's Word, where we're like, ooh,
it wasn't story heavy.
It was not. Did it give us? Patch. It really was, and like I know they're trying. like I don't know if this is just filler, and I feel like this is like anime. Oh, and like I'm like trying to decide: is this anime filler or is this leading to something? You know, what am I getting here? Like, is this truly leading to something else that's going to continue on in the next expansion? Is this just a one and done and it's just anime filler for now? And if it's anime filler, it's okay anime filler, right? It's like Zero's a cool character. It's just it's a big bull okay. Like that's like that's really what it just feels like, a big bull okay. And I you know, I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like, you know, and I said this when you weren't here and Susan was on the show. Like, I feel like the game is lingering in numbers. Like, yeah, we know it's a game that you can put away for a while and come back to. Like, they've said it multiple times, but like people, you can kind of vibe it out that people are like aren't logging in as much, and it's like, you know, like we don't talk about financials here. We're not a deep like MMO thing, but you know, Final Fantasy 14's Square Enix's MMO division in the last quarter did not do well. Like it dipped down 16%, you know, and their biggest moneymaker is Final Fantasy 14. So that's the one that dipped down the hardest. So
that kind of makes sense. Like we're in the middle of a patch cycle.
Yeah.
And we finished the major overarching story. So like there's nothing right now that's tying back to 10 years worth of content.
No, and
we're not finding out a little bit more of something we already knew. This is completely new. So there's not a whole lot of reason for people to come in and do it right now.
No, and this
I wouldn't be surprised if 6.5, a lot of people subscribe to kind of do all of it and prepare for 7.0, but
it also almost feels to me like this might be the longest we've gone without, because they've already said the expansion won't launch until next year, right? So that's it'll be 2 years since an expansion. Like I don't know when that expansion's launching.
That's how we normally do.
Well,
expansions are every 2 years. They used to be every 2 years in June. And then the last one,
like, why did it feel like it was a year and a half? Like it felt like it was a little
because we got the
peppier.
announcements in November.
Okay.
The expansion would launch in June. Then we would get the new expansion. Then 1 year after that, a year and a half from that, we would get FanFest, which we'd get the announcement for it. And then we'd be waiting until next June to actually launch.
Do you think they're gonna announce? Like, oh boy. So here, so do you think that? I mean, all right. Well, let's get your thoughts on the thing, and then I'll ask you a question, and then we'll, I guess, do our next thing. So.
Yeah. I think like I agree that this patch was kind of light on story. Like there was good story. It was interesting story, but it was very light, especially for a 0.3 patch, which usually is like the climax of the patches. Especially back when we had story like Dragon Song War, the Nidhogg fight, that was the 0.3 patch. We had like the 0.3 patch is usually the major turning point of the whole series. So it is kind of weird that we don't have that. And that's, I think, partly why it feels a little bit lackluster as well. In terms of like going forward, I think that the Golbez story is kind of like you said, an anime filler. I think that's going to be done probably in 6.4. They may push it to 6.5, but I think that's going to be done up in the patch cycle. On the other hand, I don't think Zero is going to be done in the patch cycle. I feel like they, as a character, probably are a little bit more. So I think that they could be used to help transition into the expansion, and they may have more of a role in the expansion, especially because like they're trying to get away from the old Scions, right? This is probably this character and the one Garlean character are probably the two major newish characters that they've introduced that they've kept going with, that are not Scions, that are not pre-existing main characters.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I like that they've kept Justinian around, honestly. Like
I can see them bringing him more because he never really was
a Scion.
major
Like
character
he wasn't like he was in Heavensward, but that's it. Like we didn't hear anything from him until like we got like a little Justinian teaser.
Yeah, he blew up stuff in not Stormblood, in Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
And then Endwalker, he became a Scion.
Chili said the budget was
honestly, yes, the bun was worth
it. The budget was not used on the bun.
Honestly, if they keep putting their whole budget towards burgers and buns like that and different food, 100% support it. Don't care about the rest.
Well,
Um,
game over, I guess. So that leads me to my next question then, because we know first of all, how do you well, then I'll ask you this, like, what do you think they're going to announce at FanFest? Like, do you feel like they're going to do a normal FanFest announcement of like, there's a teaser for the expansion and kind of announce the name of it and like do all the normal stuff? If the expansion's not, and we don't know when the expansion's coming out next year, right? Like, because they said next year, but next year is very vague. It could be early next year, it could be late next year. Like, what, it could be June of next year.
That's probably where they're like. That's generally when they announce things. Well, I guess they're announcing this one in August, so it could be earlier next year. Would be my guess.
Okay. So
The 2-year cycle normally was June, and then with the pandemic and everything, Endwalker got pushed out to November. So
yeah,
that was the longest period we had between expansions.
and they said that,
And now, so if we keep doing the 2-year thing, it would be this upcoming November, but we know that's not happening. It's getting pushed. So
Yeah.
it'll probably be early.
and we know our
2024.
patch spacing out has gotten larger, right? Not because we're getting more content, because he's trying to give the team a break in
Because of
between
pandemic too.
that pandemic.
Working from home is harder
working
to.
from home, yeah, and all that stuff. So he's trying to give him a little bit of more of like a buffer, and then I think they're trying to give him at least a 1 week break before they go back and do more content work. So
Yeah.
which is great. Like it's cool that he's trying to avoid like crunch and like, or at least trying to give the team a break in between, like, and I get it. Like we're like Quinton and I are for that. Like none of us are here to be like, no more content. It just
Yep.
it just feels like anime filler. That's all I'm saying. It just feels like
But
anime.
yeah, so I think with FanFest, the North American FanFest, I think we are going to get an expansion name. I think we'll get a reveal, probably a trailer. Will we know what's going on in the expansion?
I would
No.
say part of a trailer. I think it'll be like the first, like, remember. It
Oh
won't
yeah,
be-
it's never the full trailer.
Yeah.
We will get some of the trailer. We won't get music.
I
We
think
may get some environmental pieces.
I think we'll get.
Not the official music. That's usually released later.
Was it? Okay. Yeah.
It
all
always
right.
thinks the trailer is just going to be the city states in HD. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think there will definitely be that HD upgrade involved in the trailer, but I think the trailer is going to have more than that. It may have like locations or like things that they can show off that don't necessarily tell you where we're going or what we're doing.
Also, my question is for this new city states and the HD, are they?
It's a graphic update.
I know it's a graphic update, but they're not updating the engine, right? They didn't say they're updating the engine of the game. They're just updating the graphics of the game, right?
Right, but that would probably be in the engine itself. Like they'd have to
Okay.
update the engine of the game to improve the graphics. I don't think it's just like
this engine's
they're
old.
putting
This-
higher
I
rendering.
don't know. This engine's old, bud.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, but a lot of companies have done it,
yeah, I know.
right? Like, hey, maybe that's why they're really light right now. They have to keep putting money into this because it's hard.
It's hard. It's so hard.
Um,
So okay,
but
well,
I mean, if they pull it off,
yeah. So
pretty
well,
good.
speaking of FanFest, so did Maelstrom Radio acquire tickets to FanFest?
we got one email.
We got one email out of the three. For the three of us, we got one email.
Well, out of the three of us and everyone else that I know,
Yeah.
that plays Final Fantasy, one email.
And as most of you are aware, and other content creators have tweeted it out, they are not doing press passes, which we have been very lucky enough to have gone in the past. Thank you, Chili. But that has given us the contacts at Square Enix to go as press. And even though I did contact on behalf of Maelstrom Radio, we were, and guess
Yeah, they're
what?
not doing it this year.
Your boys and Susan are on the list as press now. We're considered media with Square Enix, which is shocking. You do this long enough, someone's gonna recognize you. But unfortunately, that is not the case this year. Maybe they figure media tours where they'll do the media stuff. Maybe the fan fest are trying to focus more for the fans, which totally understandable. It could also be, and normally, and what I think is that media is usually there because there's going to be an interview with Yoshi P, right? Like they usually set time aside for Yoshi P. And I think what's happening is that Yoshi P is also going to go to the concert that night. because the first night
Mhm.
there's also the Final Fantasy concert, and Yoshi P usually shows up in fanfare in that concert in some sort of
Yeah.
fashion. So he probably doesn't have the time to sit down and do an hour's worth of questions at like FanFest. Boom, right over to the concert hall. Like it's gonna be a tight run, and I'm sure
I
he's.
think too. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sure that he's booked solid for that time frame. Like, so is it the day after FanFest? I thought it was the same night. I thought
The
it was
other concert. So there's the regular concert after the one day in FanFest, the piano concert the other day after FanFest, and then there's the other concert that's
Yeah.
unrelated to the FanFest the next day, the
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah. So I'm saying book solid, right? Like I don't think it's gonna, because you also have to consider that if he's part of the like the show, right?
Yeah.
In any sort of way, he has to be there to rehearse, and they probably are
Yeah.
rehearsing a day or two. So he might have to step in, like, hey, you might have to do this and do this. So he's probably busy. I'm not going to chalk it up. He's probably busy. So
It's only the producer of two
everything.
Final Fantasy
And
games.
also 16, right? Like 16 is coming out right around the same time. So it's a lot. So
So if I had to guess, one, I think they're trying to tamper the hype. I don't think we're going to get as much information.
I think
and
thank you.
like I think there's going to be stuff that they'll announce the expansion, we'll get the name, we'll get
Mhm.
some pretty shots, probably some stuff that'll entice us, but won't tell us anything about the actual content of what we're doing. And that's like I don't know if they're doing another class or anything in this expansion, so like there's probably not a whole lot. So reducing that expectation so that there's not press there. The other thing that I could see is there may not be as many Square Enix employees there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't necessarily have to travel all this way for 2 days of stuff. Especially since they have setup and they have meetings and all. Like, there's so many things going on. There's a chance that they wouldn't actually be there.
Yeah. If anything, it's probably been a while since they've had, since he's gone over and the team has gone over to go see the team on stateside, right? So, like,
yeah,
I'm sure he's gonna have meetings with the team and meet like it's. I'm sure it's an ordeal. I'm sure he lands in there, like he doesn't land directly in Vegas. He probably lands in California and drives over to Vegas, or lands and flies back over.
Flies.
Like, he flies.
Just keep flying.
Just keep flying. So what does that mean for FanFest for Maelstrom Radio? Please look forward to it. I'm sure that
we won't be there.
We won't be there, but
that's the key point.
We won't be there, but that doesn't mean that FanFest will, like, there won't be a Maelstrom Radio FanFest thing. Stay tuned.
Oh, no, we'll be virtual.
We'll be
100%.
virtual. Yeah, we'll be virtual. Please come to our Discord. We'll put something together, like a watch party, and we'll try to make it fun for everybody. Like the point of FanFest is to hang out with your friends, and I think what was our deciding factor is that, one, the cost, right? It was the cost for some reason we knew was like going to be way more expensive this year than normal, but prices got
taxes and fees.
Yeah, and then prices got jacked up, I think, all around. Not just, it was hotels and everything. Like the prices overall just went through the roof. Well, yes, we still want, like, we have, Susan and I have not seen Quinton in a while, and Quinton's not seen us in a while. Yes, we do.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah, and then there's some other friends we wanted to go, and they weren't necessarily going to go to FanFest, but also there's the cost for them, and there's other things we could do together that would be a better use of our money and to see each other. And really, the point of it is to hang out with your friends. So us to you, the listener, if you are going to FanFest, and don't go with the aspect of, I'm going to get all the juicy news, and go to see your friends, go to see your FC mates, go to see the people that you run your content with, go for them. There's tons of fun stuff to do. We've done it a couple years in a row, or every other year. It was fun. Will we go back eventually? If there's the one maybe next time we'll go. I won't say, like, but this one we're good. I think we're good to step out of this one, say, you know what, we're good. I would love to do the FanFest, but I'm good. So, but this one I'm okay with saying it's okay.
I think the main driver of this one was just no one we know got tickets. So if no one's going, again, like you said, we go for the friends, we go for people that we're meeting. And if none of those people are going to be there, it doesn't really make sense for us to be there.
Yeah. So,
unfortunately.
Does it mean I'm gonna not try to buy a Eiffel Tower shaped alcoholic beverage holder? No, I'm gonna try to do that. Just drink it all and watch the news with everybody. So,
again, you have to attach a boombox to it and play Blue by FFXIV.
I will. You don't listen. You think I won't do that?
Oh no, I know you will 100% do it. That's why I just say you have to do that. Also, by the way, the next Final Fantasy expansion is going to be called Hellback. This is sticky and pinned in our in the Final Fantasy channel in our Discord. So
Hellback.
Yeah, it's called Hellback.
No, I don't think
you
so.
came up with this. Remember?
Did I?
Yeah.
Was I drunk?
It's because No, because remember how we had A Realm Reborn and then Heaven's Word and then Stormblood or Shadowbringers and Endwalker did the whole like day cycle.
Oh yeah, night cycle.
Was it? Maybe it was Chili that came up with it.
Yeah, that's probably sounds more like a Chili thing. I was like it.
Yeah, because it's like it's Heaven's Word in the cycle, right? Like we're now at the Heaven's Word point in the cycle again, but it's not Heaven's Word. It's simply the opposite of Heaven's Word.
Well,
so Heaven's
hold on.
Word.
Wait.
Hell back.
Wait. So a Realm Reborn. What about A Realm Undone? Because then it would really tie into the void. If we really are going to go to the 13th, like officially go step into the 13th, and like
we go to A Realm Undone, that's going to be
because that would be
the reuse realm.
A
world undone.
A world undone, and then we try to a realm reused. Well, show title.
No, I still like Buuz the cats.
I know that's also very good.
But a realm reuse. Honestly, if we get an expansion that is the graphical update and not a lot of content, that's new content. 100%, it's going to be called a realm reused.
Yeah, realm reused. Congratulations. I honestly, if they just did one where we got a couple new zones, right? Like they're big zones, and there's some light story just to get us used, and they revamped some of the old zones, and like it had some new storylines there to like update them and refresh them, and like where they now post everything that's happened, and like. I'd be down for that. Like, because what else am I gonna go back to the zones for? Just to look at it and be like, neat, that's pretty. Well, see you later.
And the market board.
Oh, what? I can go anywhere. I can go outside my house for a market board.
That's true.
I don't need to go there.
The in room. In order to change your glamour.
I don't do that. What's
right?
glamour?
You don't use glamour.
What's glamour? Final Fantasy 16.
Anyways,
this is part 2. Final Fantasy 14 Hellback.
Yep.
Maybe it could be Final Fantasy 14 Pickleback.
No.
Final Fantasy 14 Pickleback.
Look at this photograph.
Oh no. Why is there a Lala? Why is there an angry
avoided crap?
Why is there a Lalafell in this angry hijack? Past guest Final Fantasy 14 Fiddleback. True.
Oh.
We should have Fiddleback back on and teach us more things about words. Wouldn't hate it. What if we brought words to Fiddleback on an episode?
Oh no.
Take some of our favorite words from Final Fantasy 14 and brought them to Fiddleback.
I don't know how that would go.
Couldn't be bad. Could be good. And then patch 6.35 is here. I dipped in a little bit, so I did a little bit of Hildebrand.
I haven't touched it.
Did a wee bit of Hildebrand. There's a great part in there. I can't tell you, dude. I do want to do the deep dungeon, of course. We might have to get the squad together.
Yeah, I think we need to get crew for that one.
Yeah, get the crew and go in there. I heard there's Bob.
And there's Protomanders now.
There is Protomanders. Yeah,
I don't know why they're not called the same things.
I don't know. Although I would love to see the Proto Men.
Isn't it like demi-clones or something?
What, the Proto Men? No, but they do, Light Up the Night's a great song. Anyway, if you've not, welcome to Mega Man band theme bands that cover Mega Man, Proto Men.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
It's a good band.
I'm sure.
Oh, they make great music. So, well, I think we,
Yeah,
I think we
that's
did
about
it.
it.
I think that's it. I think we did it. Which, great, love it. I don't know. I want to see where 6.4 goes. I don't know how much more Golbez we're gonna get.
I feel like I feel like 6.4 will wrap up the Golbez storyline, and 6.5 will lead us into 7.
Do you think whatever Golbez does will lead us into 7? Like whatever lingering effect. You think that's it? Golbez will be over and it's like, well, here it is.
Yeah.
here's the thing for 7.
I honestly don't think he's gonna have that major, like that much of an impact.
God, they really went the filler route. Oh, gross. Now I feel like they wasted Golbez. Isn't it sad? Like I kind of feel like they wasted it. Like they
haven't seen the encounter yet.
We have not, but this could have been good. Could have been something special. Because
they've always had their own takes on
I
these.
know, but they've been like this whole time they were just like really looking
Like,
for
what's his face in Stormblood.
4. I mean, I would play Final Fantasy 4 if I was everybody. If I was there, I was you. I'd look up the lore for 4. 4 is gonna have a big impact. Just saying. 4, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what if we just did like this little footnote? I mean, this could have been like stick puppets.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see how it all plays out. I don't think that it's going to be a major impact overall.
Okay.
But
If you had to choose this storyline or the next Demon Slayer storyline, which would be if you had one to do.
What?
Yeah, if you had to choose between this and Demon. If you had to choose between this and a Naruto filler, which
100% this if it's Naruto filler.
Okay. Fair.
I've not been able to finish that series for like a decade because I can't get through the filler.
Shelly's like Naruto coming back. What with what?
I mean, we're on Boruto now.
I mean, is it the gap of time between the end of Shippuden and like no. Like Naruto adult Naruto? New Naruto.
Well, that already exists though.
Wait, new Naruto content on the way. What does that mean? What is that?
I don't know. But anyways,
I'm both confused and mad.
do we have
new Naruto. The official Naruto website has announced that the classic is okay, cool. Great.
Yeah.
New Rudo. Please actually add that to the list as well, please. Thank you. Listen, there's gonna be like I'm still with Boots and Cats, but also Naruto's pretty good.
Yeah, Naruto's great.
Naruto's pretty up there. Oh boy. All right. Well, my side hurts, so we gotta get out of here. I gotta go and do some breathing exercises. Thank you for watching us live. We appreciate it. If you didn't know, you know we're on Twitch weekly. So you can catch us on the Twitter, Tumblr, or Discord. You know, sometimes if you're on our Discord, you'll see Susan maybe playing Octopath Rally. So maybe you should join that.
Mm-hmm.
So, our next podcast recording is Friday, March 24th, and we'll feature our first guest of 2023. Kami Jace coming back. Haven't had Kami Jace on in a while. Kami Jace will be here. Kami Jace will be here. but no Benjamin Chillhouse, just as far as I'm aware. So
No game shows.
just Kami Jace. No game shows this time. We just want to chat with Kami Jace. Don't worry though. I'm sure Benjamin Chillhouse will show up somewhere in 2023. Don't know where. Don't know
It's
when.
like Hildebrand.
Yeah, sorta.
In exactly every single way.
There's
Anyways.
a man in a sequin suit somewhere waiting to just host a game. Named Benjamin Chillhouse.
Sleeping in the closet.
Sleeping in the closet. Oh, love it. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for this episode of Maelstrom Radio. So, as always. Till see you swallows all. Keep listening.